It's your boy ConserViz34, and today I want to tell y'all what I learned from the Dave Matthews Band Batson sessions from '06. I'm not going to do a track-by-track review. I'm sure many people can do that, and that's their wheelhouse. I need to listen to it more before I even consider something like that. But I just want to give you what I took away from this material that now is on YouTube and has been pulled. So I'm going to go ahead and review it as far as giving more of my thoughts on what I learned from this. And essentially, the main thing that I learned from this is that what I love about this band is their raw, imperfect studio recordings, attempts at studio recordings, as opposed to their overproduced, high quality, top-notch makeup, patch it up with great Photoshop music that they've produced since Big Whiskey. That's not to say I don't like parts of Big Whiskey, because I do. That's not to say I don't appreciate Mr. Lillywhite on Away from the World, because he did a great job with that album. That's not to say I don't like Come Tomorrow. But ultimately, the band is at their best when they have tracks that are raw, imperfect, and they are attempts at an idea that will evolve over time. And when songs are made and attempted with imperfections, with emotion, with energy that is coming from a place of, look, I'm finding this out as I write it, it is the best version of DMB. And actually, the best DMB that you can see live is them attempting jams. I remember back in the day, well, I didn't go to shows, but listening to some of the live tracks, there was actually a time where Dave actually played jams. He actually would play in noodle on his guitar randomly, make attempts at intros and outros, and that part of him is gone. That is the best Dave Matthews that we got, that I never got to see by the time I started going in 2012. I love the spirit of the Batson sessions. I love the spirit of Lillywhite sessions. And this was yet this second leak, and this leak that is in a different era of how things leak. You got Dropbox links, allegedly. You got stuff being posted on YouTube, which is still up, so that's why I'm reviewing this. This not the LimeWire era of past. Now, this is what I like about the band, but these things that I just mentioned are exactly what the band actually is sensitive about. They don't like doing this, especially in this modern era. I would say from, again, Big Whiskey, even I would say '06 on, because, again, these are 2006 sessions, and there's apprehension to move forward with some of this material in a studio format. Now, they did play some of these songs live. You think of the Hershey Park Shotgun. You think of the Break Freeze that have, well, some people love the Fenway one, but I think the Fenway crowd is, the artificial crowd ruins that entire live tracks in the spirit of what was a great set of shows at Fenway. But the band does not like releasing unfinished, non-polished music. And this is an example of this, because this is beautiful music. And Patrick Brewer as a guitar player, when it comes to Dave's guitar, yeah, his playing is magic. Yep, his playing is magic. And on this session, or these two sessions, you hear, you actually have Dave's guitar being a vocal point, whether it's his baritone, whether it's his unique tunings in, like, Come On, Come On, whether it's even the mandolin and other types of guitar, soprano guitar as he calls it. That's really the red guitar that he uses for Shotgun. And you get more of that spirit versus the modern version, where Tim does drown out a lot of Dave's guitar, or Dave, tends to be more low-key, and Tim has more of a main feature as you hear him over Dave. But the band is sensitive to the polish. They want a polished feel to their tracks, and this is with any band. I think of Humphreys McGee, and this is a different app. This is an orange. Dave is an apple. DMB is an apple. But Humphreys McGee, their first couple albums, just like DMB's first couple albums, the recordings are not perfect. The recordings are from lower budgets, but they work for the recording, for the studio portion. And then you get a live version that has its own spirit. You get a live version of Humphrey McGee songs that are a little more heavier than the recordings. They have a little bit more of a metal edge to it than the recordings, and I love that about DMB. You think about Warehouse, Typical Situation. When you hear these live, there are jams that aren't in the actual recording, studio recordings. 41 is a completely different song, live versus studio, but I appreciate both of those. I think where DMB loses their edge, and this is, we're going to take thank you, Humphreys. We just use you as an example. We're going to wave you goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow with that free stream at the Capitol. But to get back on point, where DMB kind of loses its original spirit is when you have content like Away from the World that is very perfectly mixed, mastered, flawlessly sounding studio cuts that just don't translate live. They don't. I'm sorry. They don't translate live. Mercy, a great song for a fundraiser, and the Dave solo version of it on the I think that was the Hurricane fundraiser. I mean, that's a good, I mean, that's a bad solo Dave solo recording. But I mean, as far as the full band, it doesn't translate live. If Only does not translate well. Drunken Soldier is a great song and a great studio cut, but it's hit or miss. I've seen it like 3 times, and one of the times was good, one of the times was a little bit messed up, and I can't remember the third time that well from my memory. So I think that ultimately what I'm trying to say is that I love when this band does trial and error on the road, when they do have songs that are incomplete, and that's what we got. Now, what I'll say is the Lily White sessions, they were more complete. They were more polished than what we got from the Batson sessions. The Batson sessions are really, you can hear the demo, the demo feel and vibes from it. It is a demo, especially you look at Shotgun, and Dave's voice is not the energy that you hear from the live versions. It's not translated to the studio, and he's just kind of doing the vocals as a rough vocals to just just to have the lyrics out there with the music. But I still love the fact that I now can go jog as I ran the Hartford Half Marathon today. I can go jog to Shotgun now. It's not going to be the same as the live version, but I get the instrumentation is beautiful. The vocal, he is lacking, but that's why it's a demo. But I'm not going to criticize that. I love the fact that you have a studio version now, at least instrumentally, of Shotgun. So, I mean, this is yet again, and this is what's scary about the band. And again, they can do what they want. They play how they want. I know I'm going to get Samurai Cop, when I go see him in Mohegan. I know what I'm getting this fall, / it really feels like winter here in Connecticut. I know what I'm getting. But at the same time, what I think the band, the Lily White sessions, the way the spirit of the Lily White sessions and the spirit of the Batson sessions are just amazing. Again, the demos, their demos are not perfect. This is not stuff. I mean, a lot of these songs, they are not, something you would release for people to pay for. And I get that's why they didn't continue. But it's scary that these ideas, Shotgun, Break Free, while they were still played live, the fact that they weren't, and Batson says on Twitter yesterday that he has these songs even further along. Some of these songs we hear on Come Tomorrow, but the non-Come Tomorrow songs, they kept pushing. There's other sessions. I would love for the band to continue that. And this is really where Dave is, and Dave has ultimately the right. I can't tell him what to release. I can't tell this band what to do. But it's just scary that the band will be like, all right, so we're Break Free. Nope, guys, we're not going to continue down that road. Actually, we're not even going to really play it that much. Sorry, move on. Shotgun, yeah, we played it in Kansas in 2016. Not really playing it after that, really. Maybe we'll just try to do it in a couple years if we're touring. That's what's scary about this band is the greatness that they are kind of throwing away, in my opinion, and what they could be doing live. If we hear Shotgun, okay, let's take away Shotgun, because that's a tough song for Dave Oakley to sing, especially in 2018. But just Break Free, just break for it. The ABC Jam, some of these things that are in these sessions, if they were played as much as Samurai Cop, you know what? I'm going to enjoy these more than Samurai Cop. It's a little scary that, you know, Samurai Cop, If Only, Mercy, these songs are cleared to go. Come Tomorrow? Come Tomorrow is starting to get into that Mercy zone, the Mercy friend zone that I have Mercy in, where I can't commit to marriage to that song. It's very scary that certain stuff is being approved with lower quality songwriting, with lower quality spirit and energy and passion, which is the best Dave that you can get. That's the, you know, things are being approved now, but things from the past are not being approved that to me have a better potential, that are better to be in a live show. And I really, the thing I really wish I could have heard about from or experienced from this band live is the trial and error. They did it a little bit this year. I heard So Damn Lucky, and there was trial and error in that song when they busted it out in Hartford, whether they've been practicing it all year or they just were practicing it before the Hartford show, or was it Hartford or Mansfield? One of those shows, one of the limited So Damn Luckies we got this year from the full band. They had an amazing outro. It may have been Mansfield. But that's what I want from this band. But look, if I don't get it, this band runs stuff, okay? They call their own shots. I'm not the master musician that they are. I'm not close to the skill level of Dave, of Tim, of any of these guys. So they ultimately make the cost. But what I'm saying is, look, the spirit of this raw and imperfect music is what I love about the band. And this also, again, goes to, this is why I think Dave Matthews Band this is where they separate from the majority of jam bands. The majority of jam bands will let you buy any show that you go to. Any show you can't make, any show in their tour. You go to nugs.com, you go to their website, you go to wherever, and you can get any show from, let's just say, we're going to say 2010 forward, because some of these bands like Humphreys, you can't get a show from 97, 98, or, you know, whenever, when they were like kind of in different eras. But you can pretty much get any Dead and Company show through a taper or legally through the website of, you know, through their Nugs or through the, you know, whatever. Humphreys McGee, String Cheese Incident. You can literally get anything. Matter of fact, if you listen to Jam On and they play live files from that week that they get from nugs.net, and that's dope. But DMB does not do that. They have certain times where they have a live stream, and that's for promotional purposes for an album or for a tour, and most times it's for an album, as we saw this year. You do have that, but other than that, they do not let you in. Matter of fact, they hand select live tracks that were from years ago, which is fine because I love to hear these older tours because I was too young to go to these shows. I was learning cursive and learning my timetables in Algebra 1, you know, back in 01 or 2000, 2001. No, 01 when I was in 6th grade. You know what I mean? Like, that's what separates DMB is they are very sensitive about how they release some of their live recordings, how they release their albums. And that's really where most jam bands, if they suck for a show, you can still buy it. And it's not about the profit. It's just about giving fans the access to a show they didn't make or maybe they made and they just want a recording. And that's where I think DMB, that's why I think, you know, when there's a debate if they're a jam band or not, they don't let the jams just all get released. They hoard this stuff. They have certain stuff come out. They put, you know, they do different things to mix and master after the soundboard audio is recorded, so that when it comes out to live tracks, you hear Boy turn down more on the live tracks version of certain stuff than you hear from a taper's version at the show. You hear certain stuff mixed again and mastered for the live track series, that's just something that it is what it is. What do you guys think? This again, my thing is, what I took away is, I'm not going to review track by track, but that the band's raw and imperfect attempts of audio is what I love. And this was something that wasn't, some of these songs were not formulated to a final album debut as of right now in 2018. Some of them were, but you see a lot of stuff that could be great for an album. Could be great if they play it, even if it's played as much times as Samurai Cop, and it's the same setlist variety, but certain songs are being worked in. I think it would make for a better tour. It would make for a better experience, but what do I know? I'm not DMB. But it's your boy Conservative 34. Thanks for watching. I'm out.